Have you ever pondered what would transpire if our sun suddenly decided to change its color? Imagine it. The sun, in all its celestial glory, deciding it's time for a makeover. Would we need new sunglasses? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The sun appears yellow to us for a reason, and it's not because it's a fan of the color. There's a scientific explanation. So if the sun woke up one day and thought, "Yellow is so last century, I think I'll be a lovely shade of blue today," what would happen? To comprehend the potential changes, we first need to understand what makes the sun look yellow. Now, the sun is no fashionista, but it does like to play around with its color palette, and our perception of it is influenced by a few scientific principles. First up, let's talk about the sunlight spectrum. Our sun, a hot ball of glowing gases, emits light across a broad spectrum that includes not just visible light, but also ultraviolet and infrared. When we talk about visible light, we're referring to the colors we can see, all the vibrant hues from red to violet. And guess what? The sun churns out all these colors in roughly equal measure, giving us a balanced white light. But wait a minute. If the sun's light is white, why does it appear yellow, or sometimes even orange or red? Well, that's where light absorption and Rayleigh scattering come into play. Light absorption is pretty straightforward. Some colors in the sunlight spectrum get absorbed by the Earth's atmosphere. The blue and violet light, for instance, get absorbed and then radiated in all directions, a phenomenon known as Rayleigh scattering. Why don't we see a violet sun then, you ask? Well, our eyes are more sensitive to blue light, and besides, there's also a bit of blue light absorbed by the ozone layer. So the scattered blue light dominates the sky, and against this canvas, the sun looks yellow to us. It's like the sun is constantly trying on different outfits. When it's high in the sky, it opts for a lovely yellow ensemble. But when it's about to set, it changes into a dramatic orange or red gown, courtesy of more atmospheric interference. In essence, the sun's color changes are a result of its light interacting with our atmosphere. It's a cosmic fashion show happening right above our heads every day. So, the sun isn't necessarily yellow, it just has a bit of a complex personality, or should we say colorality. Now that we know why the sun appears yellow, let's dive into our color palette and see what happens if our sun gets a makeover. Let's start with a blue sun. If our sun were blue, it would mean it's a lot hotter. This could have a dramatic effect on the Earth's climate, potentially turning our planet into a sweltering hothouse. So forget about that winter vacation, we'd be hitting the beach all year round. But what about the green thumbs among us? Well, photosynthesis relies heavily on red and blue light. With an abundance of blue light, plants might struggle to adapt, and we could see a decline in biodiversity. So you might want to say goodbye to your beloved rose garden and hello to more heat-tolerant plants. Now, let's switch gears and imagine a red sun. A red sun would be cooler than our current yellow one. You might think, great, no more sweaty summer days. But hold on to your ice cream cones, folks. The cooler temperatures could plunge the Earth into a deep freeze, making it difficult for many species to survive. In terms of photosynthesis, plants would have plenty of red light, but they'd be missing out on blue. This could lead to some strange plant adaptations and possibly even a shift in the colors of our flora and fauna. So, in a world with a red sun, your green thumb might turn a little purple. Lastly, let's not forget about our perception. Colors would look vastly different under a blue or red sun. Imagine a world where the grass isn't green, the sky isn't blue, and your favorite sweater isn't quite the shade you remembered. It would be like living in a permanent Instagram filter. So, a different colored sun might make our selfies look more dramatic, but it could also mean saying goodbye to your favorite plants. So, after all this colorful discussion, what's the take-home message? Well, let's put it this way. Our sun, in all its luminous glory, isn't just a big yellow ball because it felt like having a sunny disposition. It's a result of a fascinating interplay of physics, chemistry, and a little bit of luck. The sunlight we see is a cocktail of colors, mixed and served by the sun's hot, gassy layers. But, thanks to our atmosphere playing bouncer at the Earth's club, it filters out the extremes and we're left with a sun that looks like a soft yellow glow. Now imagine if our sun decided to have a fashion makeover and turned blue or red. Things would get a little chaotic, to say the least. A red sun would make us feel like we're living in a perpetual sunset, while a blue sun might give us the blues in a very literal sense. And let's not forget, these color changes would cause a domino effect on life on Earth. Plants might have to rethink their photosynthesis strategy, and animals, including us, will need to adjust to a new color palette. But don't worry, our sun isn't planning a wardrobe change anytime soon. It's quite content being the yellow star that it is, providing just the right amount of heat and light for life to thrive on Earth. So, next time you're out sunbathing, remember to appreciate the sun's choice of color. It's more than just a fashion statement. Well, that's a wrap on our sun's color crisis. We've journeyed from the science of sunlight through the spectrum of possibilities and arrived at our colorful conclusion. But hey, don't just keep this enlightening, or should we say, enlighteningly funny journey to yourself. Go ahead, be the bringer of light and share this video with your friends. Let them in on this solar secret. Let's paint the town red, or blue, or even green with our sun's color conundrum. And what do you think? Would you prefer a rose-tinted sunrise or a cool blue sunset? Drop your thoughts in the comments section. We can't wait to hear your vibrant views. If you enjoyed this ride, consider subscribing for more content. We promise it'll be a blast, a supernova-sized blast. Oh, and one last thing. While our sun might be having an identity crisis, it's still throwing out those UV rays. So no matter what color the sun is, don't forget to wear your sunscreen.